Beginning of what's going to happen here. When you violate people's due process, when you pull people off the street, you start dragging them and hurting them and not abiding by the Constitution, when you start doing all of that, people get upset and angry. And if you remember what the civil rights movement was about,
This is actually happening. A church in Minneapolis was just stormed mid-worship, and the military is now on standby. You need to see this.
The beginning of what's going to happen here. When you violate people's due process, when you pull people off the street, you start dragging them and hurting them and not abiding by the Constitution, when you start doing all of that, people get upset and angry. And if you remember what the civil rights movement was about, the civil rights movement was about these very kinds of protests. There's nothing in the Constitution that tells you what time you can protest. You can protest at any time. That's the whole point of it, is to disrupt. It's to make uncomfortable. And that's what they're doing. And that's what I believe when I say everyone has to be willing to sacrifice something. You have to make people uncomfortable in these times. If you see how uncomfortable people...
Okay, let's pause for a second because this is a massive escalation. We're looking at a Sunday morning service at City's Church that was completely taken over. The reason? Protesters are claiming that one of the church's pastors is actually a high-ranking ICE official. Regardless of where you stand on immigration policy, seeing a sanctuary turned into a protest zone is a heavy sight. You can see the confusion on the faces of the families there. Don Lemon is right in the middle of it, documenting the whole thing, but the atmosphere is clearly beyond tense. When people say the military is being deployed, this is the kind of civil unrest they are pointing to. It's a total breakdown of the traditional boundary between a place of worship and political activism. You have to wonder what the long-term impact of this is going to be on the community. It's not just about a protest anymore. It's about people feeling like nowhere is off limits for a confrontation. This is exactly why the Insurrection Act is being discussed at the highest levels of government right now.
This guy, still don't even know his full name. Jake is all I know. And apparently...
He's a horrible freaking person.
The horrible people that apparently, I'm sure a lot of you guys do know about, but I had never heard of him. We see him run up to our car and he's like, can I please get in? Can I please get in? Like, they hurt me so bad, da-da-da-da. That's all the context we have. So in our heads, it's like, oh my god, like, was he just attacked by ICE? Like,
we thought ICE was after him, so we're like, okay, whatever, like, hop in the freaking car real quick. And then all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of people coming here and storming us and, like, beating up the car, ruining the car, pulling this dude out. Like, what is going on?
Surrounding the car from every single angle. And yeah, we had no idea what we was getting ourselves into. It's just like, we saw an injured man, so like, obviously we're gonna help because we're not bad people. What? And I don't know him. And so yeah, anyways, he gets in our car, like, yeah, surrounded us. They broke her tail light, was banging on the car, whatnot. They tried to rip him out the door, like they was like opening the door, and wild. And so we do drive because like we're not gonna, like, literally the longer we sat there, the longer he fought them off and the more damage was happening to Aaliyah's car. So we had to leave with him in the car. Like, there was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Don't fuck with him.
I was leaving.
Yeah, but also when we can't just, like, you know, like, what else are we supposed to do? He's not gonna, like, let us kick him out the car. He's not gonna get out. So, like, that was our only option at that point.
So we literally just go around the block, and I'm like, you know what? Like, you need to get out.
Yeah, we're still in
like,
the same
what
spot.
is going on? Like, whose side are you on right now? Because, like, this is not okay. And I'm just getting super weird, bad vibe from this dude. And he's just like, oh, Trump something me. I gotta own back. And I'm just like,
yeah, he was
I
like,
don't care what Trump did for you. Like, ICE is shit.
As
who are you? Like, who are you? And then I find out who he is. I'm like, I don't care if your Uber's here. You're not gonna wait in my car. You need to get out right now.
This next part is arguably more disturbing because it shows the raw human element of this mob rule mentality. You see this guy Jake literally begging for his life, surrounded by people who are trying to pull him out of a vehicle. And then you hear these two women explaining their side of the story. They initially helped him because he looked like a victim of ICE violence, but the second they realized he was actually there to support the federal agents, their empathy just evaporated. They admitted to driving him around the block and then forcing him back out into the very crowd that was trying to hurt him. It's a chilling example of how deep the political divide has gone. We've reached a point where someone's safety is dependent on their political alignment in that specific moment. It's like a scene out of a dystopian movie, but it's happening on a street in Minnesota. They even joke about throwing him to the wolves. It really makes you think about the loss of basic humanity when the mob takes over the narrative.
We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
No, we're pressed. We're not
That
honking.
vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane. That's what we're doing. My warrant's not for you. My warrant is not for you. I don't have to go. It's insane how you can be honking.
This clip gives a glimpse into the other side of the daily friction. You have an agent trying to do his job. Specifically, he says he's there to arrest a child sex offender, and he's being actively blocked and harassed by people claiming to be press. The agent's frustration is palpable. He's pointing out the irony. The protesters think they are fighting for justice, but in this specific instance, they are effectively protecting a predator by interfering with the operation. It highlights the fog of war happening in these neighborhoods. When every federal vehicle is viewed as the enemy, even the most necessary law enforcement actions get caught in the crossfire. It's a dangerous situation for everyone involved because the lines between agitator and observer have been completely blurred. If the goal is to make the community safer, moments like this suggest the current tactics are having the exact opposite effect.
The breakdown of the percentage of those who you have in custody who have actually committed a criminal offense versus just the civil infraction.
Every single individual has committed a crime, but 70% of them have committed or have charges against them on violent crimes and crimes that they are charged with or have been convicted of that have come from other countries that are here illegally, first of all, and then they have committed a criminal act while they've been here or in their home countries as well.
But it's not 70%.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
70% of everyone
you guys
have
keep
detained
changing your percentage. You pick and choose what numbers you think work, but that is the facts, is that 70% of the people that we have detained have charges against them or have been convicted of charges, and they need to be brought to justice. And we're going to keep doing that no matter how much you guys keep lying and don't tell the public the truth. It absolutely is that these law enforcement officers are out there every day doing the work to protect the American people, and they will keep doing that because they believe in enforcing the law, which is exactly what President Trump has charged them with.
Finally, we see the political fallout. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is drawing a hard line here. She's claiming that 70% of the people they are picking up have violent criminal records, while the media is pushing back on those numbers. This is the heart of the information war. The administration is using these stats to justify the 1,500 troop standby and the surge of 3,000 agents. Meanwhile, local leaders in Minneapolis are calling it an invasion. When you have this much of a disconnect between the federal government and the local government, you end up with the chaos we saw in the church. It's a total standoff. One side sees law and order, and the other side sees a violation of civil rights. The scary part is that neither side is backing down, which means we are likely going to see more of these military-style deployments in the coming days. This situation is changing by the hour. Do you think the military should be stepping in, or has this gone too far? Let me know in the comments and stay safe out there.